Oh, it was short.
It was very short. I
was expecting I'm lucky I did not leave before I come back.
I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah, I know it was usually it's
usually short.
At least 10 seconds, I think so. But anyway, welcome back to another early edition of the Hockey Nation Live Show, where this is your host, Coach Frenchy, directly from the raining day and Sunshine State, and we have to go to find the co-host, Michael Devellano, directly from West Coast in California. Happy Tuesday, everybody! October 21st of the 2021.
September.
Double 21, Michael, or double 21st, because we are 21 days before the season start. Exactly 3 weeks of the puck drop, a double header between Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and the Seattle Kraken versus the Vegas Golden Knights. So just give you an idea where we at. And then, talking about 3 weeks, we talk about we are 3 weeks prior where we thought going to be, and that 2,000 subscriber, the Hockey Nation Show, make another milestone yesterday.
Yeah, I love it.
I think this morning was at 2010. So another big milestone of what we at, and go growing. So it was great to see this, everybody, and that's where we at. So congratulations for all the people who subscribe and they participate, support the Hockey Nation Show. The morning, afternoon, evening, some of them is during at the night, like late night, because some people. Michael was pretty fun yesterday. We got China yesterday in Beijing.
No way.
We have Dublin, Ireland. We got Sweden yesterday. Of course, Philippines, the family Aigala. They are funny. And yesterday or 2 days ago was Venezuela.
Wow.
So it's the people are born. Most of them are in Canada, Michael, and they exile like us and other countries. And so they joined the show yesterday. Was pretty cool. Of course, yesterday morning and a couple of times we have Vasilev or back. I call him back because that's the name he has on the Russian side. So he was there yesterday. We're still missing Yarmo, but we know Yarmo's on off season, up and down from Finland. They are the regular one. And, if you think about this, over one year ago, it was the NHL start the process, everything like that, and then Gators. And the morning was only Anthony Manzano.
Yeah, that was it. We're a little
That's
quiet.
pretty much Anthony. And then Mike, we didn't see him anymore. But Michael from Anchorage or Alaska, somewhere like this, Fairbanks.
Yeah, hopefully we see those guys come back. We appreciate
that's
good morning.
Pretty much what, I mean, like that was really the way the first one they are show up most of the time. So so we have to start from somewhere. But how many morning was only me and you anyway. So.
Yeah, it's a little better now. Although this morning we don't have a lot of people on.
We have in our tap. Welcome back. I don't know. It's funny you said this. You had not many people. I have not many people the evening also, where usually it's more and more. But what I feel like it's a little bit everywhere. I go to the gym in the morning, Michael. You have not the regular people. I don't know. It's the week. I don't know. It's where the end of setup. I don't know. I don't have no explanation. It's feel like everywhere.
There was a lot of people on for the game, like a 1 o'clock game. I mean, that was pretty.
Yep. So we better say about that. Welcome back, Michael Rosenblatt and John Gregor for Boston, Massachusetts. Yesterday, Ackler Weather, Butter Monkey, and our tap, Ronnie Odette and Michael Rosenblatt. 5 of them win the Frenchy quiz last night.
Oh, good. Congrats, guys.
Pretty good about that one over there. So welcome,
Johnny
everybody.
Golden's here.
Johnny Golden directly from Moncton, New Brunswick, number 1 fans of Montreal Canadian.
Well, we're excited to have all you guys here. So we had a pretty busy weekend with all the prospect games, and it was kind of interesting. Like, it's really hard to watch it all, first of all. Like, it was really scattered, and I thank all the Hockey Nation Live fans.
Michael, I talk about they had not cut you, but listen, this yesterday was the worst presentation show game. I did the Montreal Canadian, like I said, we have to be careful everything like that, right? Yeah. But I find it on the RDS and French Canadian, right? And no commentator, no scoreboard, nothing.
That's
The only thing was the noise, like that's it. Yeah, nothing else, and nothing. It's like a
Oh, some of the
scrimmage near a
yeah.
between Vancouver, whatever it was. Like nothing else. So I put this live after I was there for 10 minutes to show the game, right? Myself. Then I said, you know what? Like, nobody is like, it's not NHL anyway. It's under like scrimmage. So I put this there, and then the people was asking all the time, where do you see the game? Where do you see the game? And then I put it up, and that grew over 300 something. And then we got like, and I have a lot of fans, Michael, on the channel under Ottawa Senator, like a bunch. The conversation, Michael, was all about Ottawa Senator. Some are upset about Freddie. It was fun to see another perspective of what we don't talk, right?
Yeah.
People was talking a lot about Brady Tkachuk, contract, everything like that. And they all ups. Anyways, it was fun to see this. And great overall. But, net domination of Ottawa, the first 30 minutes, and domination of Montreal Canadian, the last 30 minutes. Everything like that. But that's what happened yesterday. It was the last day of a showcase. We're going to review the showcase today.
Tampa and Florida, though, they play today, don't they?
So again?
I think Tampa and Florida play today.
Well, they have a few things. The end of the Tampa Bay today. And then also you have Montreal play again, University team, the youth sport over there.
Right.
But everybody's prepared for the training camp start at 1 or 2 days, depending the days, the camp, the players, the team, sorry. And that's what's happening around the NHL at that moment. So
yeah, so we got to figure it out. I was just kind of reading up, and I don't know if Michael or someone else understands Discord, but Discord within a voice channel, you can stream. So you can share your desktop. So it's possible that we might be able to have a little bit more interesting, commentary on some of the games with it in the background on Discord without creating problems on YouTube. So we have to kind of look into that. Maybe we run an experiment and see.
I'm completely nothing on Discord. Like I go to see, Discord. I only go to see V friend. That's it. Gary V. Yep. That's it. Yep. I go to Discord to watching his stuff on NFT. That's it. I have nothing else. You don't tell me. We have a Twitch where we live when I go live stream, but I've never been to Twitch to talk or whatever it is. So it's other two area where honestly we're not there yet, or I don't know what to do there.
I think Discord, it gives you obviously community and chat like Slack, but you can stream. So I think your Twitch or your YouTube can be streamed through that. So you can have a private group.
I'll be honest with you, Michael. I don't know why you do this. All right. I don't know if you can stream from the Discord, but my point to you is
to Discord.
I follow an NFT guy, Matt, the blogger, is like, you have 100,000 people, Michael. So you have a live stream every night at 7:00 p.m. Eastern time, where he's on Australia time. And he's always giveaway on the Discord.
Okay.
So I don't know the connection.
Yeah,
we're watching on YouTube, right? But he will bring the chat Discord. But I never see the video inside the Discord, so I don't know how, honestly. But that's something we have to
we'll have to experiment, because if that gives us a way to have a little better experience for people, that might be something worth trying out. And we'd still have YouTube and all these other places to stream. So if you don't want to join the Discord, but Discord might be
the key behind that, Michael, is like we don't stop YouTube. It's just on YouTube you cannot show the NHL copyright. That's the point behind that. It's not like we want to change in the direction. It's just like we are locked with presentation at some point. Well, we slide a couple of games. Like remember the game we did the final junior the J20, the World Championship junior last season. Last year we did the final, and we got like 300 people watching the game, right? And we did not get anything again. We did not get locked by this. So you have some area we can open up, but you never know what YouTube can go with that part over there. It's the same thing, Michael, with the copyright music.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, we clear our copyrights on music, and they still try to ding us.
Yeah, you it was like the property was for you, but I have the other one, and
All right, so let's take a look because we got a lot of people to look at here. So let's start with there was a lot to like about the different tournaments. Very disorganized, obviously, and really hard to follow some of it. But so we try to comprise, watch as many games as we can. The first was like kind of the Western teams all played each other. So looking at Anaheim, I don't know if you saw any of these games, but for me, Anaheim looks great. Like, first of all, Zegras and Drysdale probably in the NHL this year. They both look great. Zegras got hurt. He got slashed in the Colorado game, and they sat him out the last game. But, I mean, he's a class above everyone. So if you're looking at potential players of all the development camps that were the best, definitely Zegras is in that discussion. Jamie Drysdale looks like he's another level. I think he's really elevated his game since turning pro. I think he was bored at junior, Pierre. He's that good. Olin Zellweger, who is what's interesting about this, I'm going to highlight a bunch of guys that are Everett Silvertips or ex-Everett Silvertips. Olin will return to the Everett Silvertips this year. Second round draft pick, already signed his entry-level contract. He looked very good, Pierre, in this tournament. Like, he's going to be another guy I think that'll turn pro sooner than later. Bryce Kindop, the former captain of the Everett Silvertips, scored a couple big goals. He was like their number one center when Zegras was out, and he looks like he's a little bit quicker. So he had a great tournament. Sasha Pastillov, he had a hat trick the one game. They won 7-3. He looked excellent, and Mason McTavish looked real good. So they have a lot of good young prospects. Hi, Corey Hill. Thanks for joining us. All right. The Arizona Coyotes, for me, it was really just about one player, which is Dylan Guenther. I don't know if you saw anyone else that you liked, but for me, he had an absolutely phenomenal tournament. He scored in each of the first two games, and he looks dominant. He's big. He looks really big and great hands.
He did very well, honestly, over there for the Arizona. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have a lot of players over there, to be honest with you, you know?
No.
But,
he looks legit, though.
He was great with his, his puck skill was good, pretty good overall. He scored a big goal at some point, a bottle of water flew all around. That. What Kitzig was pretty good. His off-puck versatility and an important part of his game to go with the scoring. So I think he was the one who was really dominate on the Arizona Coyotes during the rookie camp over there, or the showcase you call it. So I think he was pretty good overall. But he was the best player for Arizona.
Yeah, I didn't see much else in Arizona. Now, the other side of that coin is the LA Kings. Like, they are stacked with young talent. Like, it is crazy what they have here.
Was impressed. I know you have a lot of notes. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. It's Alex Turcotte, where we did not mention a lot of his name last season, right? It was a quiet year last season compared to Byfield and those guys come Caulfield, Zegras, they come from the US and the NCAA, everything like that. But he was the most consistency noticeable player in the game. When I watched both two games of them, he was in a lot of the back battle, doing a good job to winning those battles versus the bigger players. So it was a little bit, for me, impressed about this, creating a lot of pack pressure, the first turnover. So for me, overall, I think he did very good. A very good camp for me. It would be interesting what he's going to do for that at the main camp. But if you talk about all the players was there, in my book, Alex Turcotte was the best one.
I think he's ahead of Quinton Byfield, Pierre. Like, we like the athleticism of Byfield, but you see the same issues that we saw in World Juniors. He's on his butt a lot. Like, for a big guy, he has really bad balance on his skates. It's kind of crazy. I think he's going to struggle for a while. I think we got excited because, he's a big body and he made 6 appearances, but he didn't get a single point in those 6 games in the NHL. We know he had pretty good numbers in the AHL, but I think it's another year in the AHL for him.
I think so. I think for me, Turcotte is more like the overall package better at Byfield. I talk about Fenway to play everything like that. You know what I mean? I think Turcotte is more skilled overall compared to Byfield. So for me, I think Turcotte is going to have maybe another edge on him for the upcoming season. I don't know if can Byfield Do you think he can return in OHL?
No, he shouldn't. He
No,
has
no.
no.
But my point is it out?
No,
I think he's still one more year to go, right?
theoretically, he could be an overager. I think that's the worst thing you could do for him. I think the best thing is keep him in the AHL and let him figure it out because he's not going to get any better in the OHL.
Yeah, I know. I was just curious. He was turning 20 or 21. That's why
I
my
think he's
question.
20. Like because he last year wasn't he 18?
Yeah, I think so.
So he could be an overager, but I don't see them doing that. I think that the best thing for him is the AHL and get some NHL games in. I mean, he didn't look at a place in the NHL, but the question is, what do you want this guy to be? If you legitimately want him to be a top 6, he ain't going to figure that out in the OHL. I'd be shocked if they sent him back. I can't see that happening.
Yep.
I'll mention a couple other guys. Kaliev, of course, offensive weapon. He wore a letter, Pierre, for a guy that has a very bad reputation. I think that LA's paid a lot of attention to him, and they've been doing something to try to educate him on what it takes to be a pro. He looks like he's in good shape, and his talent is undeniable. Fajimo, as build, can score goals. Like, he can really score. Sean Dursey on defense played very well. I was surprised because I don't project him as an NHLer, but it'll be interesting to see how he does at camp. John Madden, son Tyler Madden, we saw him score in the shootout, and he played really well. Martin Chromiak, the Slovak, continues to impress, and Francesco Pinelli looks like a steal. Like, I don't know how they have more guys than this, but these are the best players that I saw. They're so stacked, Pierre. Like, they're going to be better sooner than we think.
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a couple of people in the chat, Michael, if you have the time. First of all, Tap mentioned like Anaheim, LA, Detroit, Columbus have the most loaded team with prospect. Then Corey Hill, first Corey is a new subscriber. He's come from Ottawa. He loved Ottawa. And, I think Ottawa is also another team, have a lot of prospect. Unfortunately, Ottawa did not have like a showcase like other team, right? They only play a back-to-back game between Montreal and Ottawa. So it was a little bit difficult to check their player. But I think I was impressed yesterday, Michael, by Sokolov over there. Big guy, scored 2 goals yesterday. And then, of course, Pinto was with them. But Sokolov was really impressive. That line with Sokolov and Pinto together was pretty good. And then, and compared to other team, Michael, Ottawa Senators have a lot of rookies already, and the team in the NHL.
I know, right? They do.
So that's my point about Ottawa. That's what Corey, I agree with him about that because, they are all in. Like Pinto played in NHL 12 game last season,
Right.
And then like you have like the German players over there, and then you do not see a couple of prospects. They are not there from USHL or college like Jake Sanderson, example like that, right? And so I agree with him. I predict, and a lot of Ottawa Senators follow us more. I predict Ottawa Senators not this year, starting more next year. Then after that, I think in 3 years, and then year 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, I predict Ottawa is going to be a top 5 in NHL, at least top 8.
I believe it.
The future is really bright in Ottawa. If they do find a way to find maybe a little bit depth on the bottom 6 and also a goaltender, I still not believe on that Murray. Hopefully he's going to get better this year. But they have a lot of players underrated over there. For me, I love Nick Paul. I think Nick Paul for Ottawa, Michael, is just like nobody talk about this. He's another Alex Stock in Vegas. I think Nick Paul is another guy right there. And Connor Brown, Michael, is the one. He's like unbelievable. He's another one, like they don't give enough credit for what he accomplished for Ottawa Senator. Both Wiesblad, Michael, play on short and don't score. And he does a really good job over there. We know already what they do with Norris and Kachuk over there and Shabbat and Bradenson, wherever his best year with 17 goals last year, 17 assists, 34 points, signing a big contract. The question over there from Asa Corey or other people loved Ottawa. What do you do with Brady Kachuk? How much money they give to him? You tell that it would be really, really interesting about that one over there. Good morning, Chainsaw Man, by the way.
Yeah, good morning, Chainsaw Man.
Johnny Golden have a question for you, by the way.
Who?
Johnny Golden.
Yeah, and so Johnny, I think it's a really good question. Lucas Reichel looks like he might be NHL ready. We'll see how he does at main camp. He looks great. Like Chicago got a steal with this guy. Like he's a legitimate sniper. He's a very skilled player, and he looks like physically he's a pro. Kaiden Cooley is going to be a very good NHL defenseman at some point. I think he probably, to Pierre's point, tries to do too much. So he's got to figure out what his game is. But I think he's got the potential to be a top 4 defenseman. He's got the size.
That is a great number, Michael. If you get him as a 3 and 4 second pair defenseman in NHL, you're great. Can he become maybe number 2? Good, right? But if you keep your limitation or expectation, defense number 3 and 4, that's Kaiden Cooley. I think he one more year in the WHL, Michael, next year with Prince Albert, the Raiders, it would be great for him. He's a captain over there. I think it would be great for him to go back over there. Hopefully, he will be at a training camp. I'm sure he will. But again, that's the best way for me about him.
All right, I'm going to go back up here for. Oh, how did Bernard Docker look to you, and what did you think of Lassie Thompson in Ottawa?
What do you see that?
So we know Sokolov is very, very good player. Like he's a big guy that can score, and he had some really good games. We know Shane Pinto did well. I thought their best defenseman was the Finnish guy, Lassie Thompson.
Thompson had a goal yesterday, right? He's number 60 on the camp yesterday. Did pretty good. Play a lot of minutes over there. The defensive was not too bad. Their goaltender also, but I think for me, Pinto, Sokolov step up. They have the captain over there. Maybe Corey can helping me about that. His last name is like Radchilek or Raliszek or something like that. I could be screw his name right now, be honest with you. I just see the captain on jersey. He was pretty good overall about him on that game yesterday. I see both game, honestly. But look, the future is Ottawa is a little bit what they have in Los Angeles, the and we did not mention about this. I think in our tap, I think New Jersey Devils, Michael, have a lot of good prospect. I think Carolina Hurricane, Michael, have a lot of good prospect over there too.
Carolina might. Carolina is a lot. Okay, so quickly on New Jersey, the line of Dawson Mercer, Alexander Holtz, and Nolan Foote. Wow, like Dawson Mercer is going to be a complete 200-foot player. He's good at everything. His motor doesn't stop. You're going to love this guy. And he might be able to play on the third line for them this year. Like, there's no reason he can't play in the NHL, I think.
I think he have a chance. Can the Devils jump right away? Like, can they realize it's better for them to go back like 20 game in American Hockey League, get some kind of, like you said, like Byfield, those kind of the players right now, maybe come back more like a couple of games, couple of months, then come back. I feel that will be the same situation with Alexander Olds and stop what they have already, and then see after that the development during the first one. That would be my suggestion or what I feel about that one over there. I think overall that's what I expect for the New Jersey Devils. But again, like you said, Mercer was the best player on my book, better to Olds during those showcase. So he showed what kind of player he is, and he did with Team Canada, Michael, last year.
He's an engine. Like you can rely on this guy every single shift in every zone. He's got offense. He had 3 points the one game, a goal and 2 assists. Alexander Holtz is legitimately a sniper. He is so smart, and he's an underrated playmaker. His skating, we know, is not perfect, but it's not like it's holding him back. The guy who would be interesting to see will be Nolan Foote. I think within a year, he's in the NHL full time. He's so big, and he can shoot the puck. Like, he rifled a couple, like the one that popped the water bottle from the weak side. Nolan Foote is going to be a legitimate goal scorer in the NHL. And I don't know, Kevin Ball, like, what does he have to do to be in the NHL? I don't think it's very much. He reminds me of, Logan Stanley. I think very favorably. Like, he looks like he should play soon. We'll see how all these guys do at main camp.
Again, Michael, we don't talk about Chase Stillman.
Chase Stillman. The other guy is Graham Clark. Like, Graham Clark played very well. And he might be more of a fourth line type guy, but this guy looks like he could play in the NHL.
And we don't talk about the Russian kid with that 19 letters in the back of the jersey.
Yeah, what was I don't even know what that guy's name is. Like, I don't even know where he's from.
He played in the KHL, but Shumet to Mudalin or something like that.
Shakir Mukhamadullin.
Yeah.
Is he in the tournament?
I don't think so. I think
He's in the
he's
KHL.
still with them.
Yeah, he's playing in the
KHL right now.
But he's a very good prospect. Like he's awesome.
He is a first round pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm gonna go back up quickly. We missed over a few teams. That's
all
right.
around the map.
Yeah, that's all right. We had Ottawa. Corey was here. So San Jose did not play very well. However, William Eklund legitimately is their best prospect. Like he is so talented, Pierre. You can tell he carries himself like a pro. He needs to physically mature. Like I think in another year, this guy's probably in the NHL. I don't see how you're going to hold him back. His skill level is so high and he's so smart. The other guy that actually he could be in the NHL this year is like a third, fourth liner is this guy. Jasper Weatherby, he went his senior year in the NCAA, and he looks very good. He had a good tournament. And I know you mentioned Ozzy Wiesblad. I thought he played pretty well. Smaller guy, but he can shoot the puck and he's smart.
Honestly, I saw one game, so I cannot tell you more, right? But what I saw for him, he was really engaged in the play. He's not shy from contact. You know, he, like you said, able to create some hard area where he go there, where he's a small player. He's not like a big, strong, big guy, right? So he's small, but he have a great skating. Work ethic is pretty good overall. So I'm impressed by him. But one name you didn't mention to me, I believe of that game I watched, he was the best forward, is Daniel Gushin from the Gushin. Yeah, that's Gushin. He showed a lot of speed of playmaking, ability overall. He's not the biggest guy around, but his skating ability, Michael, his shot gave him a real chance to play an NHL game at some point. So Daniel Gushin, Guschchin. I agree with what you said about the team. I just want to mention that part of there.
Yeah, they did. They have some holes there, but they have a couple of real top end guys, but not the depth of some of these other teams like Anaheim and San Jose. And Anaheim always kind of stacks their team, Pierre. Like they always kind of go into the tournament. Like
we'll be interesting to see William Eklund over there for sure.
I think in a year that guy's in the NHL.
That would be great for sure about that. Michael, Corey asked you about the prediction. Ottawa Senators signed $9.20 million for 7 years. Is this overpay or is it a good deal? I'm sure he's talking about Brady Tkachuk.
Yeah, Brady Tkachuk. I mean, listen, if he gets that kind of money, he will live up to it. I don't see him letting you down. He'll be at some point he should be the captain of this team. He's physically not he's imposing. He uses his size to his advantage, but he's got great skill. Like I would not be shocked to see him get a 30-goal season.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it's too much money.
It's too
much.
Have
to be careful about all the money, Michael, because he's not the only one that's coming after that, right? You're going to have Tim, you're going to have Norris, you have those kind of people. Shaba is about 8.8, but you have to look about what kind of player at 21 years old as a forward get the money in NHL. That's what you have to compare. You think about Barzal. Barzal get 3 years at $7 million. So you have to figure out about that one over there. If you want to gauge on the 3 years, $7 million, you sign him for $7 or $8 million. You can extend the money, but I would not pay him over $8 million, Michael, at any longer length of the contract. So whatever he get, like a 3 years, 5 years bridge contract, or 7 or 8 years, whether 8 years is possible because they have the right of the team is already in. I will not go over $8 million. It will a little bit change the problem of the salary cap at some point. Go like what Boston. If I was Beato Orion, Michael, I would do what the Boston Bruins does over there. There are nobody over $8 million over there. And I think you have to get a ladder, Michael. Who is the best player on my team? Who is it Tkachuk? Is it Tim Suzzle? Is it Norris? Is it Shabbat? Is it Bradenson? All those names I mentioned to you, you have to put a name over and under. And then you have to say, okay, this is my guy. I'm going to give him that money, but everybody else have to go lower behind. So they are smart management. I'm just giving you my point here. So you have to be careful what you're going to give to Tkachuk. I believe he's one of the best players.
I think he's the best.
But again, I believe the German player, Michael, is going to be better to him the next 2 years.
So I believe they will be very on par. And I think you're right. Like, you got to say, look, this is our best player. I think 8 times 8 is the right number, or matching whatever Shabbat got. And Tim Stützle will rise to the same level. In the end, though, Brady Tkachuk is like a special type of player, right?
But you're going to get, Michael, only 60 points from Kachuk.
Maybe, or maybe not.
No, you're not going to get 80 points from him.
I think you might.
No, I'll be honest with you. Look, the career of his brother, and those kind of players, how they play, Michael, they are not there only for point. They apply other role inside the team, right? They are the penalty box. They get other things they do over there. The chance he got right now, my point to you is the German is going to score 90 points one day. He's going to get those kind of the point about that one over there. Yeah. So for me, that's the way I see that. I'm not saying that Tkachuk is not good. I just said overall, I believe this kid, Tim Suzzle, is going to be the best player the next 4 or 5 years in NHL. The kid, Michael, is unbelievable. In my book, again, you're right. 8-8 is the goal there. But I think for me to reach just this level, I will go at 7.5, and I will go for 7 years with him, and our 8 years if we want to get there. But again, he's 21 years old now. He turned 21 next year. So 8 years to bring him at 29. He maybe not go there. Maybe 7 years at 28. But again, 7.5. Keep this little bit there. That the number 7, and then after that, you see what happened with Norris and Tim. You get there. So it's for the latter is to be the right things to do.
So Brady Tkachuk is a 99 birth year. My feeling is this, and Stützle's a 2002. So there's like 3 years difference between them. I believe, though, that as Stützle gets better, you're going to see Brady Tkachuk show more and more that his skill is at that level. And I think he shows a lot of discipline, even though he's kind of a bull in a china shop. So he's going to be interesting. I think that he's going to surprise us offensively. But at the very least, Pierre, you're right. He's a 30-30 guy. And you got a 60-point bull in the china shop.
Well, it would. I wouldn't be surprised he got like 35, 38 goals, and maybe once he's done a 40 goal. It makes sense, but he's not a guy who is going to get all the playmaker is really what Tim and Norris is going to do, and then Tkachuk is the guy who will be in front of the net, push everybody, and crash the net every time of that, and score like that. That's what he is. Still, he's a great hockey player, forecheck, every time of that. He brings a lot on the table, and again, in my book, he's a right that moment is the top best 3 player on that team for sure. Maybe 2. Honestly,
he'll be the captain of that team, Pierre. And I disagree with the assessment. This guy is a point a game player. You know, he was off a little bit this year, but so was everybody in Calgary. And you look at the previous 2 years, he's like a 70, 80-point player. So, and I think his brother's better. I think that Brady's going to show he's better.
The key to him is that the guy can score 35 goals. The guy can only score 30 and less, but the assists.
I think Brady's going to be a much bigger goal scorer. Anyways, great problem to have. Colorado, Barron played well. Byram played well. I liked Young, Olofsson. Newhook played okay. And Foudy, he looks interesting. Like, I think he'll be like his brother in Columbus, and he'll be in the NHL in a couple years. He's a great skater. He can really move. Vegas doesn't have a lot, but what they have is pretty good. Chaika, I thought, played real well, and Krebs is real good. I'm not sure if I love the rest of that team. Detroit, I mean, Jonathan Berggren, he might start in the AHL, but he's going to be a real good NHL player. I don't see how he's not. Lucas Raymond, Pierre, he's ready for the NHL. I mean, I would be shocked if this guy does not play in the NHL right away. He has got a much better shot than we thought. He's a great forechecker. His speed is better than I thought. He's a great playmaker. Like, what does this guy not do? And physically, he looks like he's a little fire hydrant.
It just signed, by the way, Bob and Ryan for.
Did they?
They just bring him back for PTO.
PTO. Okay. I don't know. I think that by the end of this year, Vrana and Raymond will be competing for who the best player is in Detroit. I don't see how that's not going to happen. his playmate, like even on the power play, the way he controls the power play, we saw him on the power play in one game, Pierre. He picked the corner from the point. You're like, what happened? Like he
You know,
can.
is it last week I compared Michael to you like Raymond and Olds? Is it last week? At some point, I don't know, it was with you or the
Yeah.
evening, Michael. But I
Yeah.
would say to you, Raymond is more prepared, or is more ready to play in NHL.
Oh, for sure.
My only concern is about what Detroit do usually. It's rare they bring a kids right away. They still like to bring him in the Grand Rapids for a couple of games or months or a year before they bring back. But I think they will give him a lot of chance when the camp open up. You're going to compare what they have. But he's a guy maybe on all the player we saw over there. He's really the one. He's really close to the NHL.
I mean, listen, he is as NHL ready as you want him to be. If they hold him back, it's not based on anything other than you just want to, because he's going to step in. Like you can already see, like on the power play, he's so smart. He handles the puck with control. He shoots the puck like from here. He doesn't wind up. Like he wrists it, and if it goes on his stick, it's off his stick immediately on the shot. Like we saw him score the one-timer goal. We saw him score from the point. Like he can really shoot the puck. I'm impressed. I'm excited because he looks like he's going to help that lineup like right away.
Anyways, well, it'll be interesting about what also Barry Green is going to do with that part of there. Sad they lost Mick and Zach. Devellano had one good game. After that, it was quiet overall.
Devellano is here's the thing I noticed about Devellano, Pierre. You can play him with the best players, and he can keep up with them. He gets them the puck. And if they don't have the puck, he goes and gets it, and he wins faceoffs. And so he's actually a pretty good playmaker. And he scored some nice. I think he got 2 goals or 1. He definitely got the 1 goal.
Yeah, but 1 goal at least. I see
Bergeron set up for him.
I don't see him starting the season with the Red Wings. That's my point.
I think he might hold down the third line center, Pierre.
We'll be interesting to see that. I will not be surprised
to
bring him back over there. And then wait about that and see what happens.
It might be tough for him because they've got Michael Rasmussen, they picked up Pia Suter, and then they got Dylan Larkin. So it might be tough. You might be right. He might start in the AHL, but I don't think there's any.
It depends how they're going to make their lineup. Maybe move someone center to the winger, everything like that, right? But you know, it's a bottle. I'll be honest with you, it's a bubble at that moment. I think Raymond is the only win right there. Dutenev would maybe sign him to bring in the American Hockey League.
Great
one over there. Mick and Zach, he looked like he's going to be okay, but it would take a couple of days, a week. How about what's happening about that one there? We welcome Canadian John. Welcome back. Main Goal Hockey back in the house this morning. Thanks, everybody. Don't forget to click on the like. That'd be awesome. Michael said, Michael, about this. Maybe I want you to jump on those questions. You talk about Sarah Noel.
I think Sarah Noel was really good. So when I said this too, Pierre. I'm like, God, this guy's been around forever. He really hasn't.
No, he's 21 years old, right? But he started, Michael, at 18 to come to the training camp. So he's right. I believe right now, if I could be wrong, this is this third
rookie camp.
So you know what I mean? Like,
but he looks good, man.
And he did not do well the first game, be honest with you. Second game yesterday, he stepped up over there. But again, it's for me, Michael is like, oh my God, who I can compare him? Not a Michael McCarron, but a guy where he's like, it's a little bit like Byfield. Byfield, he got to a second overall pick, but a guy is big, but maybe not good enough to follow up with the skating, the speed, everybody in NHL. So my problem with him, Michael, is this part. The Florida Panthers are loaded with players and the ladder. So they have a lot of players on the roster in front of him. To make this, Michael, you have to beat a lot of players to stay in the NHL. That's my problem with it. A little bit what Roslovic or Armia was with Winnipeg, like that. You know, when those guys step up, or like Verhey is a great example with Tampa Bay. Verhey, Michael, he could. Right now, imagine if Tampa Bay, do you think they would not like to have Verhey and Vasilev right now? Because now they have open spot right there, right? but 2 years ago they cannot. For me, Zeron Noel is where he at right now, and he's stuck in the ladder. So what do you have to do? Keep him one more year. You go see what he can do. If not, they're going to put him on the package deal.
I agree.
At some point with another big trade to get at maybe a trade deadline. The guy is big, but I think if he was being with Ottawa or Anaheim or Nashville, a guy could maybe have more chance to make the NHL. That's one about him for me about that. But he have a good game yesterday, Michael. He showed, the reason why he can maybe stay in the NHL one day, but unfortunately he's not there yet.
Let's see how he does in main camp. That's what it boils down to. He's a big guy. He needs time. His skating, to your point, is going to be the thing that holds him back, but he can really shoot the puck. So I like that. Speaking of a guy that can shoot the puck, Pierre, Yegor Chinakhov has 6 goals in 3 games for Columbus. Columbus goes 4-0, undefeated. They got big performances from a bunch of guys. Cole Sillinger gets 5 points in 3 games. Cole Fonstad, the former Everett Silvertip, he had a point a game in this tournament. He was great. I think he was actually more than that. I think he was, let's look, because we have the stats here. And actually here, I'll share the stats. This is good because at least the Traverse City tournament, Pierre, had point streak. So you can see for Columbus, look at the stats on these guys. Chinakhov, 6 goals in 3 games. Cole Sillinger, 5 points. Former Everett Silvertip Jake Christensen, 5 points in 4 games. Fonstad gets 2 goals and assists and a +4 in 4 games. Like, first of all, Everett Silvertips, congratulations. Like, you guys are making a big impact on all of your camps. And it's pretty exciting to see that a lot of these guys are going to be pros, whether it's the AHL or the NHL. Like, you can tell they're pro ready. And that, I think that's a credit to our coaches. This guy, the Czech defenseman, looks solid. He looked real good. Like, this is what Columbus always does, Pierre. They get guys where you're like, where's the superstar? And then they all produce. Like, they have a lot of good prospects.
Michael is like this to me. It's funny you talk about this because in life or in anything, Michael, you can see the right way or the wrong way. When we talk about Columbus, Michael, they focus, Bobrowski left, Panarin left, right? And they cannot keep the player. But I think the key, it's when 2 keys. First, John Davidson is back in this organization. Davidson with the Finland GM works together for years, Michael, before he left for Rangers. The second thing, the Werenski signed his contract and he said, no, I'm not going nowhere. It's great to play at Columbus. It's awesome. When you look Columbus, Michael, and I know some of you guys are from Canada, they are the Montreal Expos. They are the Tampa Bay Rays in baseball. They are a location where it's small market, Michael, and they have to compete with the biggest. But they always find a way to perform, and they find a way to gain that kind of player. They have always been underdog or underrated team, and that's what they are. I feel like they are a great location. The player, Michael, the blue-collar player, love to be in Columbus. They love to play there. So I believe this contract of Werenski prove, so wait a minute, yes, players love to play in Columbus. They love to get there. I believe Tortorella does not give him enough credit for what he built over there for the last 6 years. The second thing is great. The Brent Larson has been there for 6 years. He learned from Tortorella. And I think that John Davidson is there. It's a team, Michael, is going to be better at what they are underrated team, I'll be honest with you. And they have a lot of good prospects. The key for me this year is their goaltender. They did not have a great year last year. Capocello struggled with Messingling. They have to get better this year if they want to perform over there. But again, Werenski is great over there. Bovis is going to become a great hockey player. Gavrikov is going to be great. Now, where is going to be Jake Bing is a big question over there. Of course, it's not a top team in NHL. Of course, Michael, the beauty of this, Michael, they're going to be finished maybe the last 7 worst team in NHL. Go have another pick. Remember, they have the pick of Chicago also for the first round next season. So that team is going to change quickly on this part over there. If Patrick Laine is back over there, what kind of Patrick Laine is going to be? That's the biggest question. Instead of RFA, and Michael, with all the drama, the like Hakel, everything on that, Patrick Laine, Michael, is only 23 years old.
I know. Pierre, and he scored. I think he's going to turn it around in Columbus, and I think so. I think he'll find a home there, just like Jack Roslovic did. I don't think Domi will last. Something about Domi is too inconsistent, but I think Laine will find a good home there. There'll be Voracek to kind of balance things out there, and we saw they have a ton of young talent that are very versatile, and I think that's the thing.
They have a hole, Michael. You know, with you and me, we know they have a hole. It's not a great team, but I think
they're competitive.
It's better than what we thought.
They're better than they thought, and I think that the continuity of Brad Larson is a good thing. He's got something to prove, obviously, but here's we underrate Bjorkstrand. Like, this is a 30-goal scorer. Nyquist, if he can come in and get back to the 20-goal range, that really helps. They need Tessier to turn around. Eric Robinson's a fast, consistent player that goes to scoring areas. Liam
Foudy is a good one over there.
Right? Like, Emil Bevstrom's a good player. Corrali played well. So they've got guys that are versatile, can play, and you can plug and play them. And that's the way the guys in the prospect camp are too.
And one player, Michael, is not there right now, is Stenlund.
Yeah, Kevin Stenlund. And he's a big guy that he can get some points. And I really like him too.
And then you have to add there, I really believe, I'm pretty sure, Michael, I could be wrong, but Chinakov is going to start the season there.
He might, Pierre. I think that this guy, like 6 goals in 3 games, we will see how he does in the main camp. But, like, what's to hold this guy back? Like, his
now they're going to see the chance to give to Mikko Lehtonen, Michael, the defenseman who was with Toronto.
Right.
So I think that's a good one to see that. So I think overall, we know they don't have, like, a strong team, but overall, I think they have a lot of good prospects coming also. So
surprise me.
Get everything about that team. But again, we know it's going to be. So the future again with that team is pretty good over there. You got a question, Michael, earlier. We skipped about that. And it's about Johnny Golden, about Romanov. Did you get it?
I saw that. Good morning, Mean Girl Hockey. Thanks for joining us. And we said hi to the Canadian Giant. I'm trying to project this because when I originally saw Romanov in the World Juniors, he was very skilled with the puck. His skating is a little bit weird, but I think the thing for him last year, Pierre, was trying to figure out when to move the puck and not to hold on to it to the last minute. And if he can figure that out, he might be a 25, 30-point defenseman. And I don't know if it'll be this year. Like, that's what remains to be seen because he has offensive instincts. He has good puck skills. He almost has too much confidence, though, in himself because his skating is not elite. It's good. It's not bad. But to do the things he wants to do, he would need to be a much more elite skater, I think. So if he can figure that equation out, like move the puck a little bit sooner, control the point in special teams, he could be a 30-point defenseman. I don't see why he can't. But he could be a top 4 and a really reliable second power play unit guy. I don't think he's a top 2. I don't know what you think, but
no, I think for me, it's a development for him, right? He's a defenseman number 5 for the Montreal Canadian.
Yep.
He's going to have a couple of times on special unit power play, but he's never been an offensive player like people thinking right now. Never score a goal, and KHL might have 1 goal every 100 game at most. Like, he's still limited by that part. Now he can carry on the puck a little bit. You have a couple of still good stinging lane, but he's not like a natural puck mover like Norlander. Norlander is better to him about puck moving, right? You need to get better on the defensive side. But again, for me, it's a development for him. He's on the right chair with Montreal Canadian because in power play, he become maybe number 2, number 3 on the power play. He on number 5 on the charter defense, so he don't have a lot of responsibility. I think his responsibility would be increased, Michael, on a PK. He's going to have a lot more time on a PK special unit. I think that would be good for him. For me, it's another one. I said 2 days ago on the night where the Montreal Canadian It's all about developing right now. Do not open up more spot. Let the player develop their again one more year, whatever who they are. And I think that would give me a chance to on for everybody. Like send back Norlander, send back Cooley. Don't give any spot to impress someone. They are not ready at the end of the day. So Romanov, it's development, potentially become a defenseman number 3 and 4 possible in NHL. He's still at least 18 months to 24 months to have a full-time job at that level.
Yep. All right. So we've spent a lot of time on Columbus. We talked a little bit about Montreal. Dallas, they were 1-3. I thought Ty Dellandrea didn't play great. Maverick Bork missed a wide open net on one play. It was bizarre. Riley Tufte looked pretty good. We'll see if that translates. He's a big guy and might take time. I thought Thomas Harley looked good. Damiani surprised me and Peterson surprised me. And then Wyatt Johnson had a good tournament. I like Logan Stankoven. If you go back and look, he was a -2 and didn't really get the points, but he looks like he'll be a pro at some point. Toronto, Nick Robertson is by far their best prospect. If this guy's not in the NHL, I'll be shocked. I still think that he'll long-term be better than Jason Robertson. He's got that much talent. He's a little bit smaller, but his brother, I still watch him and I'm like, man, his goal-scoring instincts are elite. Mention a couple other players for Toronto. This Matt Hellickson guy had 3 goals in 3 games. He was very good. I don't know where the heck this guy came from, but he looks really good. Mikhail Abramov played in the queue. So did Simeon Dershowitz or whatever his name is. I can't pronounce his last name. But both of those guys they're both former Quebec League players and both look really good. The guy that was not good, Pierre, was Petruzzelli. There's a reason Detroit didn't sign him and weren't that broken up about it. He does not look like an NHL goalie at all. I'm not even sure how he's going to do in the AHL. This guy might end up in the ECHL. He was pretty bad. I was kind of surprised. St. Louis, there was really only 2 players for me. Jake Neighbors looks real good. He's not going to be too long until he gets to the NHL. And Paranovich, I never saw this player before. He can really skate here. Very good defenseman.
Yeah, he impressed, to be honest with you, during the camp over there for them. Not many was. Like I said, I was the first time. I watched only one game, but his skating, his vision, Michael, was pretty good. He was able to make some offensive play for both hands of the ice. He did not have any issues or what on the defensive side. But again, he was an older player for the prospect tournament. So he's great. He's still out of that one, right? But I think he was the best defenseman I saw during the weekend over there when I watching them during the weekend. So now you see the big test for him is versus the big guy at the camp, right? Yep. That's where he's going to be about that. But again, it's still around the guy, but Perunovich is not a young man anymore. So it will be interesting what is the next worst case American Hockey League for him.
Is he older?
Yeah, he was the older player for the St. Louis Blues, Michael.
Okay. In Montreal, I saw Harvey Pinard and Waugh. I thought they played well. I thought Norlander, you can see his skill, but he's undersized. That's going to be interesting. I thought Cooley had some good moments, but he needs to kind of figure things out. But I liked the way Fairbrother played. Another ex-Everett Silvertip captain. He looks really solid to me. I mean, I don't know what you thought.
Yeah, before you go there, because you make a great comments over there, the reason why, because you said do not touch Jack Eichel, I just want to add one more thing. First, the line center is getting better and better, Michael, in Ottawa. They have the Josh Norris over there, right? Shane Pinto is maybe 1 year before he become another great center. The key is it a third or a number 2? We don't know. They still have Tierney, not Tierney, but they still have a couple of players over there. It's coming very soon for them. And the worst case, they can move Connor Brown or they need something else. So for me, I would not touch Jack Eichel. And then if they go there, now they will request what? Maybe a Norris or Kachuk or a player you already have. Why not to develop what they have and not to create some kind of drama? You're not sure about Jack Eichel every time that. His health, every time that. I'm at Ottawa, I'm far away from that. I would predict what happened with Jack Eichel, Michael. He's going to be traded to Vegas, and he's going to be involved also the New York Rangers and Riley Smith or Marchessault is going to be traded from Vegas to Buffalo, to the Rangers. Is going to involve a first round pick over there. Can they have a prospect like Peyton Krebs involved with this? Could possible, but also Buffalo is going to get a prospect from the New York Rangers and the picks over there. So my point to you, the Rangers is going to get Riley Smith or Marchessault. The Buffalo is going to get one of the two names I just mentioned to you. Jack Eichel is going to be in Vegas, and then we talk about prospect player and involve second or first round pick at some point. That would be my prediction about Jack Eichel if it's something happen.
If they give up Peyton Krebs, they're crazy.
Yeah, because Vegas might have to go with some salary cap problem if not that, see if they get him. So I think they open up about that one over there for sure about that. Welcome back, Valentino Abs. Thanks to be a part of the show today. Corey, I already remember about Jack. We just answered to you. Does Ellen for a trade make any sense? Can be addressed near the center and all that? The problem with that part again, they're not going to go 1-to-1 over there, and I don't think so. That will fix. I think Columbus should get younger. Well, not younger, but under the way like Jack Eichel. I don't see Jack Eichel go in Columbus on my book over there. Your answer to him about Selinger, I think Mr. Michael Rosenblatt said Lundell looked great, look awesome for the Carolina for the
Did you think he looked great?
What?
Was that your opinion that you thought he looked great?
He looked great. I'll be honest with you. The first game he was okay. He have a couple of flash during the game, like more on the offensive side. When he pick up the puck, Michael, you can see step up. He did very well after that. But again, you can see like Raymond, he have another skill over everybody on the ice. Like you see Pinto yesterday, Michael, he have a one step over everybody. That's what I see from Lundell. It's not about the proximity. It's about how they play their game, how he's moved, and everything like that. So what for me, that's what Lundell did over there. Spencer Knight was unbelievable. What is everything, Michael, from Spencer Knight? It's easy. The body language he does on the ice, his body position, the save he does, it's like, okay, it's easy. That's okay. So for me, I believe Lundell is going to be in the NHL this season.
Yeah, I think he will be. I'll mention Carolina. Seth Jarvis. Is this guy ready for the NHL?
It would be close. They're going to give them. I think for me it was Jarvis, but it was more like Ryan Suzuki. Performed very well for the Carolina for them. I really like Robbie Dest during the game. I'm watching them. I see 2 games for them so far, and they are playing right now. I believe Toronto is playing right now. Someone played this morning.
Oh, are they?
The time we're talking right now. And Suzuki and Rabidas were well again of Florida Panthers the first game. I watched them play. I didn't watch the second game, honestly, but that's what happened about that.
For me, in Nashville, there was really only one guy that jumped out, which again, we saw this guy at the World Juniors 2 years ago, is Philip Tomasino. Like, he is like their best prospect by far. I didn't see a lot else that I liked.
I didn't watch Nashville.
Yeah, they need to work on their. They need to work on it.
Again, it's normal, right? But it's just like I didn't watch them enough to get something about that. I'm going to watch at 1:00 in the next few minutes. Panthers again. That game I'm going to watch, and that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'll take a look at that. For Tampa, they did very well in this. Another ex-Everett Silvertip, Gage Gonsalves, looks very good. He was a second-round pick for Tampa. He played really well. The goalie, Hugo Enfeld, the Swedish goalie, he needs a little bit of time, but I can see him backing up Vasilevsky in a couple years. Like, he's big. He has good reflexes and positioning and quiet in the net. This guy, Simeon Ryfor, I'd never seen him before. He played very well. And then the other goalie, Amir Midikov, played really well. So Tampa's got 2 good goalie prospects there. Minnesota, because we're kind of over time here. If you're worried about Kaprizov, I get that. I am too. But you got to feel a lot better watching Marco Rossi. Like, there's no reason this guy won't play in the NHL like right now.
The Philadelphia Flyers announced today Kevin Hayes underwent abdominal surgery today. He will miss 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's not good for them. That's bad. I'll mention Chicago. Lucas Reichel. If he's not ready for the NHL, he's very close. His body looks like he's ready physically. His talent level's there. His smarts are there. This is a great pick for them. Around 15th, I think, is when they got him. The other Doc looks pretty good. Colton Doc, I think you just need some time, Pierre. I don't think he's going to be Kirby Doc, but I could see this guy being a third-line centerman in the NHL. He looks pretty good. Edmonton, we saw Edmonton versus Calgary. The guys that stood out for me, Philip Broberg, I mean, I can't see him not being in the NHL like very soon. Bourgault, the guy, Xavier Bourgault looks very good, Pierre. He needs to fill out a little bit, but that looks pretty good for them. Like they have a real high-end talent player there. And Olivia Rodriguez will be interesting. I think he'll be a backup in the NHL in the next year or so. I don't think he's a number one, but he might challenge Koskinen. I don't think he'll be a number one goalie at any point, but they do have a decent goaltending prospect. For Calgary, Dustin Wolf had some moments, but he struggled a little bit. So our former goalie, I think he's going to have to make some adjustments to the pro game. They really go up high on him, Pierre, and he lost a few leads. He got blown out the one game 5-2, I believe, and then they came back and won the other game 4-3. So I think he'll be fine, but you can see he's going to need some time in the AHL. On forward, though, Connor Zary and Jacob Pelche, these guys are probably NHL ready. I mean, we'll see how they do in the main camp, but they both look very good, and they have good chemistry between them. And I think this defenseman, Jan Golubovsky, looks like pretty solid for them. I think that's kind of all the teams I saw. So we've covered a lot. I didn't really talk about Buffalo, but, Jack Quinn looked pretty good for them. This Brett Murray guy is a big guy, and he's
The Flyers, Philadelphia had Flyers announced today that defenseman Sam Morin would be out 6 to 8 weeks after surgery to remove loose bodies from his right knee. About that, and talking about the Flyers, also they announced today Wade Allison was injured during the rookie game Sunday, is out indefinitely with a right ankle sprain.
Yeah. Salut, coach from Poker Mind, Reggie Vlogs. Thanks, Reggie, for joining. The goaltender for Buffalo looks really good, Pierre. I mean, he had no business being in this tournament. He looks like he'll be in the NHL. I mean, I don't see that guy not being in the NHL. And you know who looked good was Shell Samuelson's kid, Matthias Samuelsson. He crushed a couple people. He's not quite as big as his dad, but he's big, man. He's willing to play physical. I mean, we know Shell was like what, 6'6"?
Yep.
I think he's like 6'4". Galchenyuk is signed to PTO with Arizona. I have no idea why you would do this if you're Arizona.
He played there, so
well, and he's there in the off season. But if you want to know, you know how I know he's there, Pierre? Because when you go to the rink and he's renting out in the ice den, the ice pad for himself, and his dad's on the ice screaming at him.
Yep.
That's like, it's ridiculous. This is a professional hockey player, and he's got his dad on the ice, one-on-one, screaming at him. It's ridiculous. It's the most insane thing I've seen in the last 6 months. I didn't see, who I didn't pay attention to, and I know they played, was the New York Rangers, so I don't even know what to say about them. If anybody has any comments on Rangers, let me know. Owen Power is at Buffalo, a top 6. Owen Power will not be in the NHL this year. We know he's going back to Michigan. I predict, Pierre, this guy will be a problem for Buffalo. I think that he's just going to be the next guy that wants out of Buffalo beforehand. He is a different person. He's got an interesting personality. I'm not sure if this is a thing for Buffalo long term. I bet you he plays 3 years and then wants out. And he definitely would be a top 6. I mean, he should be a top 2 in the NHL, but there's something weird about him.
Mathieu Delaurier asked you about Owen Power. For me, I would tell him not right now. I think he's forward to be there.
I don't know about
I think he's going to be a top 4 when he came starting. A little bit was Ramos that didn't play in Buffalo, right? The good news for him, he go with a team with not many great defenseman over there, so he's going to be definitely over there. The biggest question now, it's we see Kelly Chuck, we see a couple of players, Tyler Ennis yesterday, and other players going to sign a contract, Michael. But the biggest question at that moment is what do you do with Brady Tkachuk, the Peterson, the Quinn Hughes, the Ramis Dallin, all those big names right now, they are not signed yet as a RFA. Would be interesting. We really, guys, diving in hockey right now. The news is getting right now on Twitter, back to back on my Twitter account right now. It's like I'm not talking because Michael is talking. It's not because I'm not listening. I'm just jumping on that one. I don't know if you have to go, but I want to mention two things, Michael, happening today. First, yes, happened yesterday. First, one of the best underrated players decide to retire, and an amazing, great hockey player, first born in Winnipeg, Manitoba, have a 15 years with the New Jersey Devils. I'm talking about Travis Zajac, Michael. Here have a chance, everybody to listening is press conference about Zajac. And you talk about relationship and what a player make an impact, Michael, and inside and any organization when they play. That what Tom Fitzgerald said about Travis Zajac, guys, it's priceless. It's like, you want to leave an impact wherever you play hockey. You want to make a difference, not only for yourself, but your family, your teammates, and the organization give you that kind of money. If you do that, this what Tom Fitzgerald talked about him. It was unbelievable, Michael. The fact, like you said, we let him go, but we call him right away when he was become a UFA. I sit with him. We talked to him on the phone. He said, I knew at that moment he does not want to play anymore. And he talked with an ex-player. He said to him, whatever you want to do, we give you a job with the New Jersey Devils. And so it was great to hear that press conference, what Travis Zajac and Tom Fitzgerald exchanged during that interview. Secondly, I want to talk about this. It's Jonathan Drouin interview he did with TVS Sport in RDS yesterday, where the mental illness attacked not only the hockey player, but everybody else. What he said was amazing. He's opened up what Robin Leonard started this couple of years ago, Michael, where he felt about his illness. Drouin mentioned this. Pretty amazing when you think about this. During the warm-up, April 23rd, he felt that kind of anxiety and insomnia, where he decided that's enough. I cannot play hockey anymore. And he did not feel any regrets when he was watching the team, where he feel like he was happy for them. He was happy for the team winning. He was doing that, and he started at zero. And it's pretty amazing when you see those kind of players step up. And to mention, yes, so many are not talking, suffering because they are, shy, or they are scared to talk about this. Not talking about hockey player also, but other people around the world. They are the same situation. It could be pressure from the home. It should be the job. It should be the family. Everything like that. So for him to open up, credo for him, what he did yesterday. So a great interview about him. And that's what happened about him.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. I watched some of that, and hopefully he's gotten the help that he wants, and that hopefully he has the desire to keep playing. And I think that'll be the question. It's hard playing in the NHL.
For the good thing, Michael, about this for me, I was said what like I'm a little bit overexcited about Montreal Canadian right now. I can feel it.
Yeah.
I see them a little bit higher what I expect right now. That's the hockey fans, right? But what I'm interested, Jonathan Drouin, Michael, is he's on the right chair with Montreal right now. Like he's not have to be the top best 3 player anymore. Right. You don't need to do this anymore, right?
No.
He can be a 50 point. I think it would be great for him to get this. It just increase his number of goal. I think it would be better for him. But we know he's a playmaker. Can he get that kind of there? If I was Ducharme, I put him right now with Dvorak and Anderson. He have that kind of combination. I believe Anderson and Drouin together, they do well together. Can Dvorak could be that center? I'm not sure. And I would push down Hoffman down. This one is not right. Hopefully it will be up. You put Hoffman with Gallagher and Jake Evans together. I think that would be a great 3 line over there. Montreal, Michael, you have to give credit. They have a really solid 12 forward.
Very deep.
I believe they are the top 10 forward as the 12 unit. I'm not talking about they have a great like three, McKinnon.
No,
But
I
as a
agree.
unit of 12, well, a little bit what the Islanders build their team, Michael. I believe that Montreal Canadiens is the top 10 in NHL. I don't say they're going to make the playoff. I don't say they're going to be great and make the final. That's it. When you talk about
But
people.
well, the opportunity for them is they have great depth at forward. And
Yep.
if they can get big seasons out of Caulfield and Suzuki, that'll be the difference for them. And the D is a little bit of a question, but they got serviceable players back here. I mean, they're not a terrible defensive team. Weidman's an experienced NHL guy. He'll be fine. I like Sherratt. Savard's reliable. I think Romanoff will be fine day in, day out.
And there is not Kulak, Michael, there. I think Whiteman will be
Kulak.
out. Kulak will be the one in at some point, right?
Yep.
And on the sheet, you didn't see Poland and Perrault and Parquet as a backup if someone hurt over there. And you
Yep.
didn't see Biron also. So
Yep.
they are deep
They're deep.
on forward.
Yep. And they got two really good goalies.
My concern is about Carey Price. Why you said this is injury, how he's going to recover, how he's going to feel. That's my concern about Carey Price. We don't know. And what is the knee? Every time that as a goaltender, you never know what could happen. We know we have Jake Allen, but
and you got Kaden Primo.
Yeah, he struggled last year. He's going to be in again one more year over there. I think it'll be good.
I mean, I don't know. Did he struggle?
Oh yeah, he have a bad year. He's 1-2-1. He's 1-2-0, 1-2-1 with 0.849 save percentage or 4 point something.
In the NHL, yeah.
But yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. In NHL, yeah. I Laval, you have 2.20, and you have a save percentage and 0.90 something, I believe. So
yeah,
I apologize.
I think that he's gonna take a little bit of time, but I think he just
maybe Michael. What I believe is need again 100 to 150. 2.10. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, I believe you need like 100 to 150 others more start in American Hockey League. So 2 more years, and I think it will be ready in NHL after that.
That's
the problem is a goaltender number 1 who will come number 2. One player that you did not mention this morning, guy. It's because you love him a lot, and you from the and maybe you talk to him. It's the goaltender Dustin Wolf for Calgary. They won 4-1 again at Edmonton. It was great because I think about you when I see Wolf, but I was thinking about more you when I see Mitch Love to do the press conference yesterday, late last night. So I just want to mention this to you this morning.
I love it. Yeah, again, like I was saying, like I think Dustin is, one thing about it, Pierre, is they really can score on him up high. So that's going to be the big difference between the WHL and the AHL and the NHL for him. If he can figure out how not to be down so early, because he's not 6'3".
No, he's a wonder. They compare him as a Halak and a Saros as that. Every time they mention it, but they did it right. Why not? He cannot do it right now. So that's the point.
Right there.
Yes,
he's right there, and it's great seeing Mitch Love. I mean, Mitch Love, go back like 20 years or so. He was the captain of the Everett Silvertips. He was an assistant coach with Kevin Constantine. He went to Saskatoon when they had Kirby Doc and became the head coach there, part of the Team Canada program. And then now he's in the AHL with Stockton Heat. So it's amazing to see him. Like, he's in line for an NHL job in the next several years. And he's a very well-prepared coach, and the guys respect him. And he was the tough guy in Everett, by the way, like when he played. So he's nobody's going to mess with Mitch. He's got a bright future, I think, in the pros.
Absolutely right about that. It will be interesting to see what he's going to do. But overall, I think it's really interesting about this. And so to Mathieu Deslauriers, I would not be surprised he scored 25 goals with the New Jersey. I will tell you why. Because Mike, he's going to have a lot of time there. He's going to be on the power play. He's not a big scorer on power play, more like a 5 versus 5. 25 goal, Michael Tatar next year. That'll be the number I expect from him. Because the TOI is going to be a more elevate over there.
Yeah.
And during the season, he's fine. It's when they start to be more physical, he have some problems. He's always been that way over there. But I think, and over there is going to be with Jack Hughes or Nico Urshire. So I think overall he'll be a top 6 over there, Michael. Sharakovic could be another player who play with him. Or Jasper Pratt. It will depend what he's going to put him. Lindy Ruff. but I expect about 18, 25 goals for him for the upcoming season with the New Jersey Devils.
Yep. Yeah, there's going to be some good players coming through New Jersey. I'm pretty impressed with them.
We just see Anthony Manzano, Michael.
Yeah, we said hi to Anthony before. He said hi, Mike and Coach. Thank you for joining us, Anthony. Thank you, Corey Hill, for all your comments. We really appreciate it.
Did you answer to him about Owen Power?
Yeah, we were talking about that. I think Owen, and I put a comment up, I think Owen Power will play in Buffalo. He will have a very high opinion of himself, and he will create problems for them at some point to have to move him. That's my feeling. And I think within the first 3 years.
You know what? I will be reverse to you. I would not be agree with you about that one. I think Owen Power will be fine. Every time that, I think open one where he's going to be there, Michael, is going to have a new management team over there. So the general manager is not going to be there. Granato will be there. The key why I said that to you, Michael, is because the Granato. If it was another coach or something like that, I think Granato is a great communicator.
I agree.
He's a great guy. Explain and talking every time that. A little bit what Rod Brendamo does. And again, I could be wrong, but I feel like he will be
I like
him every time that. So I could be this, but that one over there. But
so Ovechkin needs 5 years to beat the Gretzky record, right? Like he is nowhere. He can't do it this year. He needs like 4 or 5 years to do this.
It's easy, Michael. It's 33 game average for the next 5 years. So it's 165 goal, I believe, something like that. Can he get it? I believe he can.
Sure.
Can you do it? I'm not sure, but he have everything like that. The next 2 years, 3 years, the next 3 years, more than next 3 years, right? Is if he can get about 40 goals per year, the chance will be increasing. If you go lower at 30 goals per year or 35 goals lower, it's going to be a little bit more difficult because more goals he get quicker, Michael, less goal he need to do at 39 years old, 40 years old, where it's more difficult as a hockey player to perform at that kind of level. So for me, it's a lot. It's again, he's still a guy can score 40 goals per year. I would not be surprised if you get 40, it's 80 goals. It's about 14 more goals at what he's supposed to score for the last 2 seasons. That dropped about 25 goals per year at 39, 40. He was still the best player. He was still to be at the top over there. I believe he have a really good chance to do it. But again, it depends what many goals he's going to do for the next 2 years inside that.
Let's call it what it is. He has 730 NHL goals, and this guy has 894. So let's not pretend like these are the same thing. I think he'll probably do it because I think he'll get there because the guy's he's physically like not deteriorating. His game is not based upon him being fast or defensive, and he could just sit there and score goals for the next 4 years.
I don't say he's underrated, Michael. I'll be honest with you, but if you have someone love to play hockey, Michael, have a passion about the game, and he love the game, it's Ovechkin. You can blame him. You can tell him a lot of crappy stuff. The off ice, he liked the rain, everything like that. But the guy can have 2 bottles of whiskey at 4 o'clock afternoon, come to the game, and he would play the same way he does all the time. That's who he is.
But he's not great. He's terrible at everything except scoring goals.
That's what he, you know what I mean? So you have to get him. But he loved the game, Michael. He loved to be there. He enjoyed this. He's getting older, Michael. I think the reason I would say that to you also, he become a husband with the kids. He's getting more mature about life, every time that more responsible. So he's going to get a little bit better as a leader, everything like that inside, everything like that. Again, that's not change the culture of the Washington Capitals, but I still believe you have a chance to do it. Can you do it? That's another subject. But again,
we'll find out, but it's not this year. So Corey, it's going to take him 4 or 5 years. Yeah. All right, Pierre, we've covered a lot today. Thank you for joining. Thank you, everybody, for contributing.
Yeah, we're going to be back tomorrow, Michael, finalize the showcase camp about the teams who play today. And then we'll open up with a training camp tomorrow. We're going to see another I'm getting right now a lot of update about the roster of team, Michael. So I'm going to get there every time that. So you can get about that one over there. What price could Malcolm take as a FA next season? It depends on the location, Michael. I would say to you, but $6 to $7 million.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Yep.
It depends how healthy he is, because I think if he's healthy, he's going to get big points. And if he's going to miss a bunch of time, then he might be willing to take a little less to play with Barkov or someone like that, like.
I believe at 3 years, $7 million, you hit him very better. At 2 years, at $8 million.
Yeah.
We saw that. He's just the body. I don't know he can follow.
Yeah, it adds up.
But at the right place, right? And I think Florida Panthers should look about him.
I agree.
Imagine Malcolm Florida, he will look for me exactly what Jordan Staal do for Carolina Hurricanes.
I think a lot more.
Yeah. But sure, the line, right? You have Barkov, Bennett, or Reinhardt, and they have Malcolm over there. So you have a great experience at the third center. He can score. He can produce more like Staal, right? Staal a bit better on the 2 ways, of course.
Yeah.
But again, every time that. And then for anybody thinking Barkov is not better to AO, I can give you all the stats. Barkov is the top 10 player in NHL. I know the NHL Network does not. They put Brendan Point before him. Right now, Barkov is better.
I don't know about that, Pierre. Brendan Point is like another animal. That guy's a killer.
I'm talking about overall, Michael. I'm not talking about Point. I think Point is struggling a bit more on the defensive side. If you turn that, but I know what Point can do there, right? Yeah. But I think Point get what Kucherov gave to him. Barkov can build everything by himself. That's the difference between Point and Barkov.
I think Braden Point is a guy that is way better and more important on that team.
Look, his season, Michael, this year, only 48 points.
In how many games?
56.
And then
without Kucherov.
Yeah.
But when Kucherov show up, look what's happening. So he's increasing his and again, I'm not disrespect him or put him down. I just that Kucherov with him make him Point better. Barkov, he make the people around him better.
Yeah, it doesn't hurt.
And again, I think a center, Michael, at 6'4" is a big guy center is better overall. And he just won the Selke.
Yeah, but he's still not Braden Point. He's got to win a couple cups.
Johnny, you're absolutely right. Katchenak just signed a PDO with the Arizona Coyotes, and we'll see what happens about that. Have an amazing, great day, everybody. Enjoy your Tuesday. We should be back in the next 45 minutes for go check with. First, we can find the link of the game. Second, if it's worth it to get this. Thirdly, we'll be back tonight, 9:00 p.m. for the Power Play show tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock. Have an amazing, great Tuesday, everybody. Have a good one, Michael.
Thanks, Pierre. We have a very short video.